So this woman, her child's missing. Just like in Fable 2, you can choose to listen to these things or just to skip them. We'll skip them for now. So she said that her daughter's been lost in the wild. I now can follow the breadcrumb trail. I can use my dog to scent this little girl down. And why don't we run off now to that next region and have a look at this. So, very unique story, really simplifying the mechanics, this unique touch system that's there. The idea that followers, now you gain followers from fighting, and you gain followers from quests, and you gain followers from relationships with people. That's all pretty unique. But there was one element of the game that we really felt needed changing, and that was this button. This is probably the button that's changed the most in Fable 3. It's the pause button. Now, in Fable 2, we pressed this pause button and a 2D list of things came up. It was okay, but it was 300 items of tedium to go through and change your costume. It was 150 different weapons to go through, and that didn't really work for me, especially if we wanted to be more action adventurous. So here we are in a region, and it's pretty cold here. So let's go and press that pause button now. We press the pause button, and straight away immediately we go to a place called the Sanctuary. Now this Sanctuary, firstly you've got the map there, which we'll look at in a second. Secondly, you've got your butler. This is John Cleese from Monty Python. He has got hundreds of thousands of lines, all of them driven by AI. He's super reactive to what you're doing in the world. He's definitely going to make you laugh. And then we've got these different rooms, and if we just look, there's the armory there, which we'll look in a second. There's the clothing room here, which we'll look at in a second. Sorry, Dimitri, just pop out in a second. There's the treasure room over here, and this is to do with multiplayer here. So let's just go in the clothing room. And our ambition was, can we have a system which, in here, this is all the clothes that you found in the world. There's hundreds and hundreds of different clothing options in the world, and your butler has laid out the most appropriate clothes on these plinths. I can accept his choice and just change all my clothes very quickly, or I can customize these much further. I can swap and change out the trousers. I can go and tint these trousers, and your butler is there all the time to sort of comment on that sort of stuff. So, that's what I like. So that's the clothing stuff. That's very important when you're king to be dressed right. Now the armory, and again this armory is the place where all my weapons that I've discovered are laid out, and because weapons are craftable by you, because as you use a weapon, if I use this sword, this is the basic sword, it hasn't got anything special about it. The more I use it, the more it develops and evolves uniquely to my combat style. So we'll take that weapon.
Do you have an example of a weapon that has been?
Yeah, we'll look at one in a second. Exactly the same idea about a weapon developing applies to these things called gauntlets. Now gauntlets, the great thing about gauntlets, you've got two hands. So in one hand I can have fireball, and the other hand I can have vortex. Because these gauntlets will continue to morph and change uniquely depending on how I use them, I can have a level 1 fireball on this hand, a level 5 vortex on that hand. And then when I cast a spell, I'm actually mixing those two spells together. So that is really unique and leads to a whole world of possibilities. But again, it's very, very simple to use. You just walk up to it. And then lastly, it's guns. I've got rifles and guns, and again, these will develop and morph as I use and change them. The great thing about this is because we combine that uniqueness and morphing with your gamer score, you can trade those weapons online. I can sell them to other people. They can continue to change by other people, and then I can even buy them back. You can gift them to other co-op players. And then the last thing in here is the map. The map is very much, this is your kingdom. Now, if we have a look, this is Albion here. Across the sea is this place called Aurora, which we'll be looking at. We can look at in more detail. This is another whole continent to explore. In this map, I can pop into. This is where we were. Yeah, this is the town where we were. I can buy any house. I can go down and teleport to any quest. This is actually still the living world of Brightmoor here. So that has changed a lot. What that means is that people who never changed their clothes, never changed their weapons, didn't really have an idea of what Albion is. Really, this is a big, big, big change to them, and very important when you become king. Anyway, let's go back and let's go on. So I've got this basic sword, and if you just take the sword out, in fact, if you can create some hops, can you do that? So we'll just show you some of the combat. Now, it's exactly the same as Fable 2 in certain ways, but it's changed a lot as well. So tapping does fast sword swings, holding charges up and builds up. Now remember, all of this is combined with the uniqueness of the weapon. So you're crafting a weapon as you're using it. We never cap the hold. So if Dimitri holds down and he's cast a spell at the same time, holds down for a flourish. Yeah, you don't have any unlock because this is level 1, but as this sword goes up, we're going to unlock stuff. So you can charge up that. Same with the guns. I tap it and I fire a quick shot, I hold it and I aim and build up a higher shot. Exactly the same with the magic. I tap it for a fast spell or hold it for a build up and charge spell, and then use the direction to actually unleash it. It's a bit dark. So the great thing about that is there's no reason I can't be holding down and charging up my sword and then shoot my gun. So you can combine these as to did you die? Oh, okay, sorry. Now I think you can level up the sword in the debug menu. You have chosen some hard colours. So we'll just show, if you go to the debug menu, you should be able to level up that sword. But I'll just take some questions. Anyone got any questions about what I've gone through? So it's a big change, huge change to the story, massive change, you know, getting rid of health bars and experience meters, and making the leveling up about what you hold in your hand. Your body still levels up, making the level up about followers, about you more followers you have, you more powerful you are. Just complete change of that start button, which means that you've got the sanctuary there, which is instantly accessible the whole time. There's a huge amount of change